Welcome everybody to Write Better Together, Afterthoughts, WriterFest. What's that? Hey, look everybody, it's Emily Brooks.
Hi, John Myers. Hey, look,
Hey.
everybody. It's Sara Wigal.
Oh my
Hi,
goodness, so exciting.
guys. Thanks for letting me come and talk about something I care about on the podcast.
Yeah, so Sarah talked on our full length episode with her. She talked briefly about WriterFest, and we want to talk to her more about that and how long it's been around and what's involved and who's been there and everything, all of the details.
I'm ready if you are.
Yes, tell us about it.
Okay, so WriterFest Nashville is in Nashville, which is where I live and where our founder, Amy McConnell, lives. Amy, who is the best person on the planet, but she was a executive with what's now HarperCollins and also Simon and Schuster over the years before she ended up becoming a freelance book editor, ghostwriter, companion writer, collaborative writer, excuse me. And now she works with bigwigs writing their books for them, which is pretty cool. But when she was still at what's now HarperCollins Christian Publishing in Nashville, Tennessee, she had kind of kicked around with some of the other folks there about doing this conference that she had in her mind that was not just for writers and authors, but was more about kind of Nashville and like what our city is about in terms of creative writing. And if you don't know, Nashville has more things than just honky tonks. We are now the number one bachelorette destination in America,
Oh, yes.
of Las Vegas, which is fairly terrible.
I believe it.
Residents. But we're also a home to a really thriving literary community, and we're the number 2 city in the US for book publishing in terms of like the quantity of writers, authors, and publishers. And then, but we also have a pretty nice sized screenwriting community, as well as, of course, what we're most known for in the writing community, which would be songwriting. So
Yes.
I have a lot of friends that are writers of all these different kinds. I was just at a friend's birthday on Sunday, and it's like everyone there was in film. So that was kind of fun to get to talk to them and be a little outside of my normal mode. But that's why Amy wanted to found a conference that would be for writers of book, song, and screen. Because she was like, I don't know anyone that's a songwriter that doesn't eventually write a book. I don't know any author that doesn't want to be in the writing room for their screenplay adaptation. You know, she's like,
Yeah.
we're all kind of mixing and mingling, and it can be hard to figure out who to talk to when you're trying to sidestep into this other form. So why not create a forum for these people to meet one another and encourage one another to kind of go after their dreams and collaborate? Nashville is also a really friendly collaboration city for artists. We have sort of a code of ethics. We're all pretty nice to one another and friendly and inviting. So she also wanted a writing conference that would feel like that and not kind of like competitive, look over your shoulder, that kind of thing, which I think we've all been to a conference like that where maybe you don't meet anyone because they were worried, you know, about ideas being stolen or like whatever silly things. If you believe in, you know, Liz Gilbert's idea of big magic, like we're all having the same ideas anyway. It's just who's going to get them out there. I do believe in that. So I think you don't need to be competitive about your ideas. No one will write it the way you will write it, and that's a good thing. But so she founded this, and we've had now 5 conferences, and I started working with her. Well, the second conference was the first one that I went to, and I was actually a panelist. And then afterward, we started working together, and I started running the schedule. And then this year, I came on board as a partner and like really working on the brand and like more events that we run. So we have a conference that this coming year will be November 21st through 23rd, 2024 in Nashville. It's hosted at Belmont University. And the night of the 21st, we're going to have just a kickoff party. It's called A Dolly Good Time. And is a charity benefit for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. They mail free books to kids. There are probably people you know who grew up reading these books or have kids that are receiving these free books, which is a wonderful program. We love Dolly. I found out, I didn't realize they were partnered to Penguin Random House, so there's also a Big Five involvement there. And so we're doing a benefit for Dolly. We did one last year too. And we're going to have it at Acme Feed and Seed, which is downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to like do the Broadway thing, this is a cool way to come in that night, go to the fundraiser, hang out. There will be kind of a little bit of a program and then hit Broadway, but like not too hard because the next morning, the 22nd, and then on the 23rd, we'll go, basically 9 to 4 all day with different panel sessions. And some of them will have people that are kind of across the three writing disciplines. And some of them will be, maybe more about authors or more about songwriting. But if you are someone that wants to go, I really hope that you will not just segment yourself into just kind of one track, because I think there's a lot to be learned from kind of our sisters and brothers that are in maybe other writing styles that can be applied. And then there's a lot of like business stuff that can, marketing is marketing pretty much no matter what type of writer you are. So yeah, that's the event. It's going to be I guess it's our sixth one. Is it our fifth one or our sixth one? I think it's our sixth one. And I kind of work all summer on it. We also do like a secondary event. We just did some fundraising for the Porch Writers Collective, which is a nonprofit for writers here in Tennessee. So if you haven't heard of them, check that out. But we just did last week a fundraiser with them. Oh, and I think you were going to ask me like, what else did you want to know? What else did you want to know? I've just been blah, blah, blah.
No, you covered it all. I just learned about the porch yesterday, so I got goosebumps this whole time. So so some of this will be when we're done here, and but you've said so many things in this 5 minutes that are in sync with either things we've talked about earlier,
Yes.
or like everything's connected, and I'll just leave it at that.
That's amazing. Well, we'd love for you and your listeners to come to WriterFest this year or any future year. Our website is writerfestnashville.com. And if you email us at info@writerfestnashville.com and say that you were listening to the Write Better Together podcast, we'll be happy to send a coupon discount code for attendance, whether that's for just one day of the conference or both days of the conference. Although if you buy a 2-day pass, I believe, if this ends up being a lie, I'm sorry, but I believe what's being discussed by our sponsorship director is that if you buy a 2-day pass, then you're like comped in to the Dolly Good Time versus having to buy like a separate ticket for to make sure that there's a donation on your behalf. So, bang for your buck, and you're helping kids, which is always fun. And it's just really great. Last year, our keynote was one of our keynotes was we had Tyler Merritt from the Tyler Merritt Project. We had Patty C. Callahan, and who's a New York Times bestseller also. And then Julia Whalen, who is sort of the most famous audiobook narrator that I can think of or know personally. And she's most well known probably for all of the Emily Henry novels. She's the voice of that, and also every Taylor Jenkins Reid book. She's also the narrative for those. So those are pretty hot right now. She's also just lovely and really funny. So in the past, we've also had, I'm trying to think, I should have had my notes in front of me, you guys. Actually, I do have my notes in front of me. If I just pull them out, I can give you a list of just a few other samplings of previous keynotes, but it's also just full, like the conference is full of agents, editors, other authors. It's just really, really fun. Okay, our previous keynotes. This is a comprehensive list that I'm going to read to you because why not? Julia Whalen, Tyler Merritt, Patty Callahan Henry, Tara Stringfellow, the author of Memphis, incredible book. Lisa Donovan, joined by Vadis Turner. Tim Reed Jr., he is a big muckety muck at BMG doing music stuff. We love him. Local thriller writer who's also a big New York Times bestseller, J.T. Allison. the poet, Amy, and I'm going to get her name wrong because we always call her between ourselves Amy Nez, but Amy Nezakamata, and I'm so sorry, Amy. Please never hear this, that I just butchered your name. Albert Lee, who's a literary agent who's quite prominent, Alice Randall, Kel Cade, Ruby Amanfu, and Sam Ashworth. Leanne Moriarty of Big Little Lies and other fame, Apples Never Fall. Liz Kukowski, she wrote the film Wine Country. And Tom Douglas, who's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, big songwriter here in Nashville. So those are some of our previous keynotes. We do have our 2024 keynotes already reserved, but I think that I'll make you go to our website to see that announcement sometime soon. Or follow our Instagram, which is WriterFest NSH. WriterFest NSH on Instagram.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
That's amazing. Yeah, and thank you for offering a coupon to our listeners. Yeah. I love that so much.
Oh my gosh. Anyone that sells anything knows, like, you are trying to get people in the door like sooner rather than later. So you can like estimate the spaces you need and how many lunches we need to reserve. So if you want to come and get your ticket now, we will just absolutely thank you for giving us that advance notice. What a gift to us. So yeah. And we have an amazing team. And I guess I'll end with this because I've been talking for a while. WriterFest is not like other conferences. And that is a thing that a lot of conferences say, but I promise you, we really mean it because, and someone gave me this feedback like totally organically about an event we had last week. She was like, you know, I'm really introverted and I came to that event alone. I didn't know anyone. But I talked to a lot of people and it was so fun. Like everyone was just so nice. People were introducing themselves and just being really kind. So that culture is something that Amy and now myself have worked to cultivate on purpose. This just inclusivity. Everyone is welcome and everyone is a friend once you're with us, you are with us. And we just invite everyone that is a writer of any type or working in any of these entertainment spaces to just come and hang out. I cannot tell you how many amazing projects have been born of people that met at WriterFest and connected, because a lot of the pretenses, like, they're gone. Like, this is not just like a shake hands and forget about people sort of event. It really becomes a place of connection. We have people that come to this conference that have come every single year. They've been at every single one, which I think we feel really proud of. And same thing with certain volunteers. We have industry professionals that every year want to come because they feel like it's worth their time. So that we really couldn't feel better about it than having that information. So we will cultivate and support everyone meeting one another. You know, you're not just like showing up. You know, it's the same thing we talked about in the other podcast about fostering connection because learning looks better. We're doing it for WriterFest too. When you foster connection and amicability in community, people learn better and they feel safe and happy. So that's what we're trying to do with WriterFest, and I hope you guys will join us.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you.
Say the thing, Emily, that we couldn't have.
Oh.
We couldn't have done it.
We couldn't have done it without you.